still, as you say, a tricky situation. Is Dr. Mundo they go for, taking away from Kevin and Freddy.
This is actually smart though by them, because they know that they can get the Vi, or the Lee Sin at least, if they want it. This means just trade to junglers.
Yep, so that means Svenskeren should tell a lie, not going to worry about that jungle right now, because it's Thresh and Renekton they actually went for as first pick. So N-rated wanting that Thresh this time around.
Yeah, I mean, they can delay the jungle pick because the Lease is already there. And the Fresh pickup, we have seen it before, he's so strong overall. And we have Annie and, well, we have Zillion.
So J-Ree has been hovering over this a number of times, and we knew this is something he's played. So Zillion locked in as a support.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be Zillion support. Together with Caitlyn, you have a lot of poke in your lane, you have a lot of harass in general, and Fresh has to land a hook to actually engage on him. If he can dodge the hooks and lanes, Fresh can do anything.
Well, it does mean that Jinx and Vi get locked in for SK Gaming, so good picks coming out for these guys at the moment. We all have to keep ourselves refreshed, don't worry. As it stands, Vi locked in, as I mentioned, for Svenskeren.
Yeah,
you played with Svenskeren before. How good is he on Vi?
Generally, for Svenskeren, it's not too much about the champion, it's more the playstyle with it. With Vi, he can be very aggressive, especially at level 6. He used to play Jarvan when I played with him a lot, and it was the same. Once he hit the level 6 mark, he would just instantly go for the ganks. Same thing here for Vi. He can do a lot of farming early game. He can even actually, duel Elise. He will not be able to, win it, but at least he won't get destroyed by Elise like some other junglers will at this point early game. So the Vi pickup is smart. At the same time, they got 2 of the picks they wanted before, and they could just pick up the Vi now.
Shen being hovered over. It's something we've seen Kevin playing many times over the seasons, but it is Fizz getting locked in for Kerp in the mid lane.
Okay, so this is a Fizz who can just go all in team fights. There's Shen ultimate, and there's the Zillion ultimate to actually save him. So I expect to see Kerp being very aggressive in these fights, just boom, straight for the backline. There's a Jinx. No mobility on Jinx. If he manages to land his ultimate on him, you can actually instantly burst him down.
And this is horrible now for Jinx, because if you assault battering someone, generally there's either going to be a res coming out from the ultimate of Zillion, like you say, or the big shield that could come out from Shen United.
Yeah, I mean, Candy Panda has to be very careful where he stands in team fights, and SK Gaming needs to have vision around them, so Kerp can come in from the side, flank them, and then land the ultimate. If, however, they do have vision of Kerp and he jumps in and they can kill him down once, he won't do any damage, and then when he respawns, they can try and kill him again.
Well, Orianna was the final choice for Jezis, so we'll see how that works out for him in that mid lane. So these are the 2 team comps. What are we seeing? Obviously, all aggression may be coming out from Millenium here.
All aggression from Millenium. They just want to fight all the time. They want to, push the turrets, and they want Kerp to split push one side and then Kevin on the other one. And if something should go wrong, if something should go wrong for Kerp, Kevin ultimates him in, and he will win the 1v1 or the 2v1 in that case. On the other hand, though, if you look at SK Gaming, Orianna versus Fizz, we saw this at Worlds actually, where Peke got destroyed on Fizz versus on Orianna. There's all the pressure right here, at least until level 6 for Justice, and he can bully Kerp out of the lane, or at least try to.
Well, I know Kerp, who absolutely hates playing Shen, used to play it in that top lane. I think he went about 8 or 9 games without defeat though on Shen, so we'll see if it works out. It worked out for Alliance, or Alternate as they were known back in the summer split. They are now known as Millenium, of course, and we'll see if it works out for them this time around. They have to try and get a win here, but let's check out what you guys at home have scored for this match. According to LollySports.com, 56% of you have gone for Millenium in this one over SK Gaming.
Bit surprising. I mean, well, then again, SK didn't look too promising yesterday. Millenium, we know they can be good. That's the thing. SK is still a new team. They still have to prove themselves. We have seen Millenium play before. We know how good they can be. So, I will agree with this on 56.
Well, for me, this looks like an all-in comp from Millenium here, up against the steady comp for SK Gaming. They've gone with the steady comps that have worked throughout the 4.1 so far.
Yeah, I mean, both these combos actually have wave clear, and also they have the ability to team fight really well. Late game wise, depending on how fed Kerp will actually be, but the damage on SK Gaming will be way higher than Millenium's, unless we have a Kerp rolling.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Millenium as the blue team on your screens, up against SK Gaming as the red team. Will we see any invades? Of course, first blood come in 2 minutes for Reckless in the previous game with a sneaky play out mind gaming their opponent's Super Hot crew.
Millenium has actually invaded in the last few games they played. This time around, though, while they do have the Shen taunt, they don't really feel like they need to do anything. And to be honest, I think they just want standard lanes and just, I expect to see Arnir camp the mid lane. He wants to get curb fed.
We'll see if it works out for them, because he has been trying to be aggressive on the Pantheon in the yesterday's games. Just didn't work out for him. This time around with a champion he's much more comfortable on, with Elise. He can close that gap. We'll see whether those cocoons land. Cyanide wasn't that successful, honestly, with Elise with those cocoons.
No, he didn't manage to land the cocoons, but just by having Elise, you have so much pressure early game, and everyone know if you find Elise, she's so hard to deal with.
Well, Tribush covered off. It is going to be standard meta from these teams. Kevin is coming down here, so maybe, just maybe, it's going to be a late invade. Oh, Svenskeren immediately coming in, puts the ward down in the bush. Death Bush gets covered off. Millenium clear that out. Everybody separates, goes back to lanes.
But this was actually really, really smart by Kevin. They must have expected Svenskeren to ward this bush, and so he just waited so he could clear the ward with Arnir.
So, SK Gaming will be starting off on the red without the vision. They do have one on the back side of red, so they know whether anyone's coming around, so they know that they're safe. Arnir starting off on the red. Starting out with Smite there. Interesting that he did that, because if you cast your mind back to the North American LCS, just look at what happened for the Flay. Actually, I think it was just a basic attack, wasn't it, that came out. That managed to steal away. Dignitas, that was, of course.
Right here, though, he has double wards. The entrance is covered, so he knew there was nobody in there to actually steal it from him.
So I wanted to get that Smite on cooldown as quick as possible. So, this mid lane, Jesus up against Kerm. It is Fizz versus Orianna, and it's a lane we want to pay attention to, because as you mentioned, if you cast your mind back, I believe it was the semi-finals of the World Championships.
Yes, it was.
Where Peke on Fizz got absolutely destroyed by the mid lane for Royal Club on Orianna.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing about this matchup. Fizz has to pretty much all in to get any poke onto Orianna, and if he does that and Svenskeren is near, he's pretty much dead unless he uses at least the flash and his jump backwards.
Well, RNA will be starting on the blue buff now, and meanwhile the blue buff for Svenskeren is also being taken away. So he could rotate round towards this bottom lane. He's on the big Wraith at the moment. We'll see whether he goes aggressive. We'll see whether RNA does the same, trying to go towards that top.
One thing we have to remember is now Cillian is in the game. His passive extra XP for everyone, so we should actually expect the solo laners from Millenium to hit level 6 before the ones from SK Gaming. And as soon as you hit level 6 on Fizz and there's a Shin ultimate, you can actually try and all in and be fairly safe.
And let's not forget those really, really annoying bombs just being put on their heads, which Jerry, we just saw him doing on Candy Panda. Kerb taking some damage in the mid lane, and as you called it, RNA is looking for those ganks. They're going to try and go all in on towards Jez. Is it going to be close enough? The ward is going to spot him out there. He's going to have the cocoon coming in a moment. He's trying to wait, trying to bite out that cocoon. It lands on the tower, but has he gone a little bit too deep? Repels away. Great control there. He's going to drop back down. Has to use the flash to get away with it, but it was worth it. First blood Kerb.
Such a great cocoon coming out of Arnir here. He predicted the flash. First of all, he delayed the cocoon at first. Jesus was waiting for it with his flash. One thing we have to touch on though, Svenskeren was there beforehand to try and stop him, but then he moved around to the race because he didn't expect him to come anyway.
Kevin catching that taunt on Freddy, meanwhile in this top lane, while he had a big wave of minions in there, knew he's going to get damage, and Freddy's got to be careful he doesn't do it again actually. Realised the danger and stepped away from that one, happy to fight on the turret instead. So Kevin shoving those minions down Freddy's throat.
Now, I mean, this lane is a bit like the standard top laners. It's tank versus tank. We're not expecting too much to come. On the other hand, though, Svenskeren moving down for bot lane.
We'll see whether he's going to be in there, because RNA is ready to counter straight away. So this may be a danger time for SK Games. Svenskeren actually thinking of backing away from this one instead. Realizing, is he just trying to bait out anything from Millenium? No, he has backed off. RNA doing the same in the bottom lane as well.
Both these junglers are just doing the exact same movements around him. Oh, RNA to cancel it. Can he try something?
Well, he's going to try and see if they can bait it out. Generally, sometimes they do back away and cancel it, yeah. So he's trying to bait. He's wondering whether this is warded. Maybe not sure whether Millenium are going to try and go for this. And I think they want to wait to see whether N-Rated goes aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, okay, he did recall now. I think they expected it to be a ward because SK played so passive. They didn't try anything. So they're really smart play by SK. You know, they sensed something could be wrong, and yeah, they were right.
So, top laners. We see a single Doran's Blade coming out from Kevin. Meanwhile, double Doran's Blade actually for Freddy. So 3 Doran's items for Freddy in this top lane.
I mean, he's going all in for the lane, and he's actually been building this on Renekton every single game. He always goes to double Dorans into something tanky. That's pretty much his way of dominating or trying to dominate the lane 1v1. It does send him a little bit behind, though, for the first few team fights.
Renee is going to come around. The race Wurtos taken a moment ago by Jerry in trouble. Is going to have to use that speed boost to try and get out of it. N-rated with no mana left. Obviously just caught him with the hook and the flay.
Yeah, Millenium can just stay in the lane now because N-rated can do nothing but just auto-attacking and maybe flay once. So Jerry can just harass, and they can stay in the lane.
Of course, unless Creaton decides to step straight in front of Candy Panda like he did there. Managed to land that zap and a couple of basic attacks on him. That means that Candy Panda's going to try and force them back. In terms of CS between them, well, it's pretty close. 50-45, of course, that's simply waves being pushed back and forward.
Yeah, but the big deal, first blood did go to Curb. We just talked about how Millenium needs him to be very strong for the team fights, and they can actually instant burst down targets and save him if he goes too deep. So just getting the first blood also means that he can actually farm in the lane now.
He is both with the double Doran's play, rings in that mid lane. And he's continuing to keep on shoving in towards that tower, but Jez is, I don't think he's going to fall for it a second time. He's staying very clear of any of those bushes. Doesn't want Aranea jumping on towards him. And Aranea going for an early dragon.
Will he try to actually solo this one? He should. I'm not sure actually if he's going to be able to, or if Kerp is going to move down and try and help him. He's taking a lot of damage from this dragon.
Well, he's trying to leash it out, trying to pull it in. Kerp is going to come down and help him out. It looks like the bottom lane may well need to get there, but Aranea is taking a little too much damage here. If he goes in again, he's going to have to use those spiders, which is just about tanking it off there. Kerp should take the damage. Oh, Kerp nearly stepped away. They should take the dragon now.
They should be able to get this one. It's a bit weird SK doesn't send anything of it. If they had moved down, you know, if Jess had followed him down, they would actually have stopped this one.
Well, they countered it with a blue buff steal. That's what they did. We didn't see it on the screen, but you could see it on the mini-map. We saw Freddy going in there. Hook on J-Ree,
nice.
Pulls him into the tower. The tower's going to get the damage down. Ignite is running. J-Ree will go down. Hasn't got his ultimate available. Candy Panda, though, he's going to pay the price, and he will get taken down by Creaton. N-rated has to back away.
Jerry was simply baiting out the hook right there from SK. He wanted them to go on him so they could come in from behind and kill them. He wasn't level 6 though, he didn't have his ultimate, so he actually had to die for it.
Well, it worked out, and Millenium, of course, now have that pressure on the turret. You see Aranea and Creaton trying to take you down as quickly as possible. Of course, that is leaving Jez's free in this mid lane. Blue buff now has spawned, and now he sees Svenskeren going in there. They just didn't have the timing on it, and of course, it was all about the mini-map. 3-man invaded, but SK should steal this one away.
They should be able to get this one.
Or will they?
Kerp can't really go 1v2. There is an ultimate on Kevin though, but if he, you know, actually, he could have maybe afford for it, but there was no ulti on Kerp.
They're countering it. Kerp's got to run down here. Not going to happen. Aranea will happily just smite that one away and make sure it gets secured. So, it is a trade, but this time it's Jez's that gets the blue buff and maybe just give him a slight edge over Kerp. We'll see how it works out because the Sheen has already been picked up by Kerp.
And Freddy's really farming behind the enemy lines. He's taking the Wolf camp away right now from Aranea, and generally, there's no pressure on him in this lane. Shin cannot kill Renekton.
Well, the red buff will be taken away. Aranea now double buffed up. We'll see whether he decides to go for anything here. N-rated is backing off. That's going to leave Candy Panda alone on the bottom lane, who's got himself a BF sword apart from Creaton, of course, who has Vampiric Scepter almost complete already.
One thing we have to look at is the jungle farm right here. Aranea has been very active, you know, roaming around the map. He also did the dragon where he didn't do any camps. Meanwhile, Svenskeren just been farming and farming and farming, and if there should be a battle right now, he has a Doran's Blade.
But it's only a 10 CS difference. Compare that to an assist and a dragon. Surely he's got more gold.
I definitely think Aranea did more for the team than Svenskeren right here.
It's even.
I'm just pointing out the farm.
It is 1 gold differential. Calculated right there. Nicely done.
Fine. Never mind then.
Couldn't get much closer between them. Giants both picked up by both top laners. The zap not quite catching on towards J-Ree. J-Ree puts them bomb on Candy Panda's head. That's the most annoying spell in the game.
Especially if you know you're going to die to it and you can do nothing, just wait and just
count
wait
down,
for that
like
4 second. Oh, gank coming.
Well, we see N-rated. He's going to come down. It's going to throw out. Yes, he is. He's going to throw out the lantern, slides him in there. Assault battery on Creaton. He's going to get knocked in there. The Death Rocket already being used out way too early by Candy Panda. Jerry simply puts down his ultimate, and now Svenskeren's in trouble. Kevin comes in with that stand united. Svenskeren's going to try and run away from this one. Didn't use the slowdown. Kerp comes in, puts down the bait, and that is Svenskeren going down. We talked about this combo earlier on. It's working wonders for Millenium.
Ultimate from Shen, ultimate from Jerry. It is so hard to kill someone because you have to do it twice and throw a shield as as well, and Shen just joins the fight no matter what.
And Candy Panda just didn't time that Mega Death Rocket there at all. He fired it way too early, look at it.
Well, it is an execute, so if he had delayed it, as you just said, he would have done more damage. But at this time anyway, with the shield and the ultimate from Jerry, it wouldn't actually have mattered. Because he would have to delay it till the next time he respawns and then use it. On the other hand though, notice Kevin when he's here. What can you actually do against this? Nothing. And immediately, notice Ernie in the top lane. He moves up and he stops Renekton from actually pushing the turret.
I would argue, if he'd have used it just a little bit late and the barrier came out there, Kevin wouldn't have joined the fight.
I'm pretty sure Kevin actually joins it through the ultimate of Cillian, because he's respawning, he's technically not dead.
Does it still come through it?
I'm pretty sure
something to check out later on, of course. Something for you guys at home to tweet at LCS, whether that works or not. Or just tweet the Fishy or myself, and we'll just take the abuse, don't worry. We get it all the time. Jez is in that mid lane, continuing to farm, while, of course, Kerb has been roaming. 86 CS, 202, but he doesn't care, because he's got 1 kill and 2 assists, which is going to keep him rolling in the advantage. Generated, he's doing what he can to try and help out Candy Panda, but when you've got the combo of Zilean and Shen, it's a tricky fight.
Right now, though, no ultimate in Jerry. Freddy might actually be caught right here. He's been very aggressive farming behind the enemy lines. But Jerry, no ultimate right now. If Svenska moves down, he has his ultimate in just a few seconds. They might be able to pick up a kill.
Well, talking about Freddy, you know, the fact that obviously Kevin has had to use that Stand United to go down the bottom, it's a giant CS advantage for Freddy.
It is actually, and this is simply because he can do whatever he wants. Oh, Svensson coming in.
Well, they're trying to go for the combo once again. This time around, it's not going to be close enough for that Assault and Battery. And like you said, they knew that ultimate was down. They're trying to get the time. They're trying to push it down quickly before Jerry's ultimate is back available. Not going to happen.
It was a smart move by SK, but they didn't really want to dive. Then again, I mean, if they had dived this and Jerry would have gotten it off cooldown, you know, he can reduce, you know, the cooldown on his ultimate. Oh, going in here.
Oh, Jez is going to get caught out, and that's going to be the shockwave pulling Kerb in. Not really going to do enough. Assault and Battery going to be used, but really simply defensive duties, and Jez goes down again to Kerb.
And right here, I mean, Fizz is getting stronger and stronger, and Aranir is constantly around the mid lane. If something should happen, he will help out this time, and everything is going as planned for Millenium.
Well, both Creaton and Jerry had to back away. That's going to lose the bottom. Here you go. Quick and easy kill.
Look at the damage he's doing already from this, and then he jumps up, dodges the ultimate from Jess, taking no damage, and boom, Aranir comes in, helps him, they pick up a kill.
Yep, nicely done there. Just playful tricks, they're working wonders. Millennium get themselves the middle turret off the back of that. They did lose that bottom turret, as I was saying. Creaton and Jerry had to go back and buy, which did give Candy Panda and N-Rated the first turret of the game in the bot lane.
Dragon coming up now. I'm not sure SK actually have the timer for this. They do have a ward though, so they see Millennium starting it, but they're not really in a position to stop it. There's going to be another Dragon for Millennium.
Well, Candy Panda's waiting in the wings. Is he going to fire? I don't think he will. Not really going to go for it, just going to take away the big Wraith instead. That's going to keep the gold, though, in Millennium's favor. They're 4-1 up, they've got 2 dragons to the good, and they are looking good in this final game of the day.
Lich Bane already completed on Kerb. It is one of his main items, and he's going to have so much burst damage.
We'll see how it works out for him, and as you mentioned, the thing is, when a Fizz gets going, there's not a lot you can do about it. He will start to burst anyone down.
We saw Fizz a lot last season, especially around Worlds, how strong he is if he gets going. And the whole combo they have, I don't know. It's going to be
it's in the hole. It's going to get a barrier. It has to be used, but Candy Panda can't stick around this one. Svenska is coming down. He's going to try and get in there. The hook doesn't land. Instead, they're going to turn this one back around. And Creaton doesn't have the mana, though, unfortunately, to throw out that Piltover, which is why N-Rated walks away.
Smart enough, though, by Svenska also not to engage, because Candy Panda couldn't join the fight. Kerb coming in right here. Will he try and go for this alone, pretty much?
I think he's trying to catch out either Svenska or N-Rated going in. Now he realizes, puts that ward down, and thinking, oh, I'll get myself a blue buff. Svenska has to smite it out.
This shows the respect they have for Kerb at this point, though. He just needs to show himself, and you, boom, instantly smite away the blue. No blue buff for Jessis. His life is going to get even harder.
Creaton happily taking that bottom turret, leaving it to the minions. Kerb's just going to wipe out that wave down there. Mid lane, and Sunfire Cape's built by both of these giant tanks in the top. Big stacked up beefcakes. 40 CS advantage for Freddy, though, as Kevin keeps on stepping away. Has that Stand United back available? Of course, J-Ree's ultimate are back available. Danger signs for SK Gaming here, building very fast.
Yeah, if Kevin uses his ultimate, Freddy has to take the top turret. In, you know, to at least trade up a little bit. SK have to get some goals somewhere on the map. Right now, Curb is just controlling this game together with Aranea.
Well, they are pushing in that mid lane, and well, Jesus, I don't blame him, doesn't want a part of this, can't get near this middle turret, screaming for help from his team, and it's actually Enrated that's making his way up from that bottom lane. That's going to leave Candy Panda on his own, but Kerp has set his sights on the top lane instead. Freddy 1-2-2, he's got to start running now.
This is not looking good for Freddy. He will be taunted by Kevin just in a minute right here. Can he hit the taunt actually?
Just baits him in there. Shadow Dash, catching on towards it. There it is. Everybody dives in. Freddy just going to get dropped. Easy kill for Kerp.
I was wondering why he delayed the taunt. He could just have done it pretty much instantly and then Kerp could have landed the fish. Instead, he went for the style punch with the flash taunt.
Oh, Cocoon lands on towards Svenskeren, and Aranea just sidestepping away from that death sentence from Enrated, though. Didn't want to follow up on that, and Kerp, he's roaming again.
Right now, I mean, Kerb is just doing whatever he wants, and he's been doing this in all Millenium's games, actually. This is why Aranea wants to get him fed every game. This is why he's ganking his lane every game. Oh, Cocoon almost landing.
Just catching, glancing off the back coattails of Enrated. Meanwhile, the bottom lane, it's the two AD carries. They're just going up against each other, and Kayaton is starting to build up a bit of a gap here. 158 to 138 CS now.
There's already 1,300 gold on Kerb. So when he goes back to buy, he can pick up a needlessly large rush. We see the small engage.
This is a trade. Is it going to go back and forward? Remember, he's going to have Ace in the hole available, but Candy Panda might turn this one around. Is he going to have enough? A quick shield will work out. That's going to block out the Ace in the hole.
Nice trade actually coming here from Kreaton. He knew exactly what he had to do. Hadn't Enrated joined in, he could actually have picked up a kill on Candy Panda.
Svenskeren going to Kerp, just playful tricksters away, says, no, you cannot catch me this easily. Enrated takes a bomb for the presence of going near J-Re. J-Re now backing his support up, and they're going to continue shoving the bottom tower, the top tower, and the middle tower. And Freddy once again, Cocoon caught on towards him. Is this enough to take him down? No, Svenskeren joins the party. He's going to force him away, but Freddy once again is low.
And very smart play by Millenium again. Oh, Kerp actually just going for a bit of a poke. Dodges also the tower hit because he can just jump out. But smart play by Millenium. They forced ultimate from Freddy, or at least they forced him to back off and constantly keeps him down. And as soon as they see Svenskeren, they just back off. No chances.
SK Gaming in danger here of losing this game very quickly, snowballing away from all three lanes, continuing in their standard lanes, actually. They're not grouping up, they're not pushing around anywhere, because all three lanes are winning.
I mean, Svenskeren tries to go around and make plays, but it's not really working for him, and he's pretty much going in.
Flash engage on towards Jesus, has to use that barrier, but the Ignite's ticking. Is it going to be enough? You bet your life it is. Kerp gets another.
Ignite, plus your own passive, plus the cannon minion hitting Jesus was enough. Kerp just walks away before he's even dead.
Yeah, that swag style walking away from that one. Freddy going to come into this one. Dominus has just been used by Kerp Freddy, by the way, so keep your eye on this one because Kevin may well try and bait him into something here. Kerp's not roaming up though this time around, so Kevin just straight up bruiser fight.
And Millenium is just fine leaving him to farm and it's catching out Svenskeren. Nobody really to follow up, but they're happy enough to skipping Freddy the farm he wants because they're not scared of him in the team fights. It's going to be all about them jumping the back line and killing whoever they can there. Let Freddy do whatever he wants.
Well, Kreaton has potentially going to go for the Legolas here. We'll see. That is the Bloodthirster and Last Whisper, of course. He has got the makings of it. Could switch to a Phantom Dance or a Static Shift. We'll see which way he goes with this one. Freddy slicing and dicing across Kevin, keeping him active and back and forward. They're just going to keep on rumbling. And again, it is Kerp hunting for kills. He's got himself a needlessly large rod to go with that Sorcerer's Boots and Lichbane, which he picked up earlier on. The damage is just getting stronger from Kerp.
Yeah, again, I mean, we have to highlight the very scary part is that
What?
Misclick, it happens, but we have to highlight the fact that SK actually had the stronger laners overall, if you look at the champions, but they've lost the laning phase, they've lost the early game, and once you get to the team fights, I have a very hard time seeing them actually deal with this.
Well, as the dragon spawns, that almost certainly means that SK cannot get involved in this one. They won't have that Thresh ultimate, that big box to throw down, slow them down. Kerp almost dodging out of Svenskeren here. J-Re's in there, Kreaton. This is actually a tense situation, and it is going to be a steal for SK Gaming. Get Aranea, he's going to get locked in there. He's going to have to repel away from this one. Where's he going to go? They're going to turn it around. Kerp gets in. He's just going to jump on Enrated. He goes down, pops him instantly. Good Death Rocket coming out from Candy Panda as well. He manages to lock in there. It's a double kill so far for Freddy. A triple kill for Freddy. Jumps on towards Kerp. Kreaton, ace in the hole. Candy Panda goes down. Slices on that one. Kerp has had to step away, but a great fight for SK Gaming. They get 3 for 2, and They're going to get
Oh,
Kraton. Kraton trying to back out. Can Freddy get the quadrant? No, he can't. But Kerp's going to slide on in there. He's going to play for Trickster away. The Dragon Gold and 3 for 2. Good fight, SK.
Jerry completely failed his ultimate. He put it on Aranea when he was on like 50% HP, and SK Gaming just stopped all the damage on him. We're gonna see it actually right here. Notice the engage coming in. We have the Shin ultimate on Aranea coming down. They're trying to burst him down through the Shin ult. If they can do that, they stop him from coming. But all in all, look how early the ultimate from Jerry is. This is gonna run out before Aranea even dies, and it does nothing. Meaning, SK Gaming right now can actually pick up kills. Kerp does manage to pick up Invaded. He does the hero move. He just takes the fish and he's saying, I'm fine with dying for this. This is better for the team. But look down here in the middle. Rocket coming in Jerry. No ultimate. Ran out on Aranea as well. Gone. Completely misplayed by Jerry.
All of that gold go into Freddy. We'll see how that works out for him because you see that triple kill picked up. Of course, they didn't lock anything else
One thing
in.
we have to point out though, Candy Panda actually flashes right here.
Which, yeah, I mean, why?
That was very weird.
That's like reactions. I'm not sure what. It's to say, I can get, no, what am I doing? No, I can't.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he was trying to flash, out of the range just before he got shot, but all in all, that was a very weird flash.
Yeah, maybe out of vision range, like
yeah,
you say.
exactly.
Yeah, that's maybe what he was thinking of, but didn't work out for him. It does mean, of course, Freddy has now got that Spirit Visage and Sunfire Cape completed, so in all actual fact, he's starting to build up quite a heavy gold lead, but now he's locked up down the bottom. Kraton and J-Ree on towards him, has to pop that Dominus. J-Ree just kites him around, slows him down, flashes away. Should be enough to buy him time to get out of this one.
Cillian provides so much slow on a single target. It's so hard once you get caught by it to actually get away. And smart enough, they force the flash, which means for the next team fight, if Freddy goes in against Kraton, Kraton can actually get away and start dealing out damage.
We'll see if that plays into their favor. Of course, that trade at the Dragon really brought the gold back close again. It's back down to 1,700 gold between the two, but Kerp once again is roaming, and if he gets on anyone, they will die.
They will definitely die, and as long as Jerry keeps his ultimate until it's really needed, then going in on Aranea.
Aranea's going to get caught out, and actually we see Kerp having to make a run for it. Aranea, where's he going to repel to? He's going to get caught down here. No way you're getting away from that one. Zap comes out, and it's another kill for Freddy.
The story of Millenium shows again. They do so well in the early and mid game, but then right now, they don't know what to do. They just get caught out, they lose the team fights, and it's really hard for them, and SK is back in the game.
Oh, Kraton's shoving that bottom lane. Freddy at the moment with that split push skills. Will he get on towards Kraton? Kraton in trouble here. You can see Freddy's going to push in towards this one. Doesn't have Dominus, does have Ignite. Shattered, having to come out here. Will get straight on towards it. Freddy in trouble. He had the help of his jungler. He actually got baited in that one. Svenskern's like, nope, don't want a part of that.
I mean, Svensson was moving from the start, but it was a bit too early. Freddy went in. He tried to stop the turret for going down. It didn't work. Smart play by Kraton. He knew he had the Shin ultimate as well.
Millenium are going to keep pushing here because Candy Panda is in the top lane.
Wow.
And they're going to dive in. Look at the damage coming out from Kerp. Shockwave gets pulled. Kevin's going to take all that damage from the turret though, but Svenskern, he's going to go down to the Ignite. Kraton's going to push on here. Jez is in trouble. He's going to try and get the ace in the hole. Not going to quite be enough this time around, but they're going to get themselves an inhibitor turret nevertheless.
Amazing engage actually right here from Kevin. He taunts 3 people and instantly Kerp jumps in and he has so much damage right now.
Candy Panda being kept busy as well by Aranea in that top lane too. Wasn't able to get back. That means the inhibitor turret will go down. Dragon's going to be back up in around about 2 minutes time. But SK Gaming, all the great work they just did got undone.
Yeah, I mean, Millenium just punished SK Gaming here for mistakes. It wasn't exactly Millenium doing anything. It was more the SK, overstepping and forgetting about the Shen. Instantly Shen was there, Freddy died, and you just push up, and then beautiful taunt by Kevin.
So, Jez, he needs to try and get himself in this game. As an Orianna, you need to farm. You need to get fed. It's not working. He's kept up the farm with Kerp, but a 5-0-5 Fizz up against a 1-3-4. The gold differential, well, you can see it right there. 2,000 gold between the two. AD carriage, you can see a big gap building there. 2,000 gold between Kraton and Candy Panda. These are problems, and all the great work Freddy's done getting them kills is actually only equal in farm with Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, Millenium, they need to keep the pressure up right here. If they just let SK farm, it can be like the last time they played each other, where it was 50 minutes long and there was like a lot of back and forth fights. Right here though, Millenium has, they have the better comp at this point because Curb is so strong, and at the same time Creaton is in the back line. So they just need to keep the pressure. They need to get this next dragon in 30 seconds and then maybe go for a Nashor or a second inhib.
Well, SK Gaming have the timing. They are starting to take position, clearing out those pink wards. Svenskeren will take that one out, and it does mean they could try and shove for it. Of course, they got the smite steal last time around. Svenskeren getting in there. Kevin is off in this top lane. Stand United will be available by the time that dragon respawns.
Yeah, and right now, if Millenium can stall this dragon, Kevin can actually get some damage on the top turret. SK, though, they might just start it straight away, simply to force Kevin down.
Well, he's going to keep on pushing that top turret. Kerp's doing the exact same in the middle. SK really want to get this dragon. They're going to put everything, all their eggs in one basket. And, Millennium don't care. They're going straight for the inner turret.
They want to force this this mid turret, and if SK come in from behind, they want to take the fight.
Well, you can see Kevin working away on that top one. That's the middle one. The whole team is just going to rotate straight up there because they're going to win the foot race against SK Gaming. 2 inner turrets for 1 dragon. Not worth it, SK.
Great calling right here from Millenium. They simply say, we know SK wants to fight for this one. We don't even want to do anything with it. 2 free towers, and they could even have picked the fight right here if they wanted to.
Yeah, that's a big gold deficit starting to continue sliding. It's still only 3,000 gold. Let's not get carried away about it. But 7-2 in turrets. That's a big difference. There is a lot of gold in the bank, potentially for SK, if they could suddenly get a roll, start taking those turrets down. But they've got to get something rolling here because every time they try something, Millennium counter it.
I think SK at this point, they want to make for Millenium to make a mistake, punish it, and then, try and regain something. Could it be 1 kill, 2 kills, maybe a third? That would be enough for them.
This is the first blue buff in a very, very long time that Jez has got. Maybe that's going to help him. It's going to get the cooldowns going, certainly, for his attack ball, his dissonance, his shockwave. Everything could work out, the defensive ball as well. Kurt laying in wait, wants to get another assassination, but it's not happening. SK actually starting to play clever. They're using a lot of wards.
Exactly, they use the wards, and also they know Kurt wants to pick someone up. So Candy Panda pushes the first wave. Instantly, you see him actually here, checking the bush, making sure Kurt is not there. Smart and experienced play.
They're making sure, keeping coverage. They have no coverage at that bottom, though, and that's where we see Kevin off on his own, split pushing, keeping it going. Freddy doing a great job at keeping them at bay. And all of this action, it was built around ganks, which Millennium now are going to have to start forcing fights. Have they got the team that are able to do this against SKs? Because they have a very good team comp when it comes to team fighting.
They have a very good team comp, yes, but they won't be able to deal with this Fizz. How are you going to kill him? Through the Sonya's Hourglass, through the Shen ultimate, and also through the ultimate from Cillian. It's going to be so hard to actually do anything with him, and he can just jump straight for your AD carry, who is a Jinx, by the way, and there's not really anything you can do. So right now, Millennium could just go for the top inhib right here, but they might want to just put Kevin up there to push it a little bit.
Well, right now they have to deal something with Kevin down that bottom lane, because again, he's just going to have that wave up, and it's an exposed inhibitor, don't forget, down that bottom lane. Has Stand United to join the fight, and it's Millennium that are actually teasing SK Gaming, trying to draw them in towards that Baron fight.
But right now, SK is just farming, and they're just getting, back in the game, stronger and stronger. GS is going to pick up a Sonya's as his next item, meaning he will be very hard to kill as well.
If Candy Panda shows himself down this bottom lane, which he's about to do, will that trigger Millennium to move straight across towards that Baron? It doesn't look like it. It seems that they're going to keep shoving the towers, keep pushing the pressure on towards them, and keep things going. And Candy Panda, he's wiped out that giant wave down that bottom. That's going to buy them some respite in the bottom lane.
I would like to see Curb actually picking up a sweeping lens, so he can do a bit like Alex did before. Svenskeren might even go for this. Nope, baiting us out.
Yeah, I think it would have been a mistake as well. It would have certainly drawn 2 members into a slagging match with Kerp, and Kerp almost certainly would have taken someone down, but they know that Kerp is not there. They're going to focus on towards Creaton. They do get a good play. They don't quite get the box in. There's the Stand United. Shockwave comes out, pulls Creaton in, but not really going to pull the trigger enough. Kerp wasn't in the fight, though, so a lot of ultimates burnt from SK, but a lot burnt from Millennium as well.
And the flash of Creaton is now gone. They can focus in the next team fight. This might actually mean they just want to try and ignore Kerp and just go straight for the backline of Millennium.
Well, by a lot, I do mean 1, because it was only Stand United that was burnt out there. JW didn't get baited into this time. Creaton was safe, and now you can see life stealing all of that health back. He's feeling comfortable, but it definitely gave Millennium something to think about.
Well, it also showed to Millennium how little damage SK Gaming has at this point. The Shockwave came in, but it only took about 20% of Creaton. So right now, he's actually feeling very safe.
Yeah, he hasn't even got that Zhonya's Hourglass completed, no Rabadon's Death Cap, no nothing. Really stacking that ability power out. So Jesus has got a lot of work to do so far to try and get himself going in this game. He's had to just go full-on defensive. Freddy, he's the shining light. We said it at the start, and it seems to be working out once again for him. Can they focus on Aranea? No, Cocoon lands straight on towards him, scatters out that Spider, and Kerp, he is laying in wait once again. And, you know, all those wards we talked about have timed out, so SK are moving as one giant pack.
They're doing the smart move right here. They don't want to be caught by Kerp. They know he's waiting in here somewhere, so as long as they move together, he can't really go in for them.
Well, they do rotate around. They get those sweeping lenses down, check out all the bushes, so they know they've got good coverage in that top half of the bush, which is why Candy Panda feels safe now that Kerp is not there.
This reminds me a little bit again about the last time these two faced each other. Millenium could have forced a Baron with Kerp waiting around, nuking down a target, long before they actually did. This game's been a bit the same. You know, they try to get some vision control, but they don't really buy enough pings. Now Kerp actually picked up a sweeping lens, as we talked about before, so that's good. And they're just going to try and do the same. Force something around the Baron. They just delayed a little bit too much.
Well, at the moment, they are keeping the consistent goal difference, and Rated caught out there. Quick defensive ball coming out from Jez, preventing a lot of that damage on there. Millenium continuing to shove the top and the bottom lanes. We do, of course, have Kevin down the bottom. He's still got that Stand United available. He can join the fight at any time with that ultimate from Shen. And pink wards going across from Millenium, and again, everybody keeping that dance going. And SK Gaming are playing this smart. They're keeping together as a unit.
But it's a big issue for Millenium, the fact they can't actually see the ward in the Dragon Pit with the current pink ward. That's why G put one more in there. It was able to be cleared by SK though, so right now they can't actually clear this one, and SK has full vision of Baron.
Yeah, they missed it with that sweeping lens, so they have full vision in there at the moment. But it does seem that Aranea is going to go around. He's not convinced. he's not convinced.
There we go. They can actually spot it, so SK will just keep this vision unless there's another pink ward.
They've started it off, and that means they're going to go for it, but look at the position. Candy Panda miles away from this fight, and that Baron is going down fast. Already below half health. You can see in the bottom left of your screen, 3,000 hit points. Svenskeren trying to come in for it. The ultimate comes through. Svenskeren not going to get close enough to try and get a steal on this one. They actually delay it. It comes in. Fascist doesn't quite get it on there. Aranea closes it out. They get the kill. Svenskeren down.
Millenium did delay killing it until Svenskeren, you know, was at least dead or far away. Smart play by Svenskeren. He tried to go in for the flash steal, didn't work. He had to try though.
Yeah, had to try and do something. It could have been the saving grace. It worked for SK Gaming, remember, against the Copenhagen walls, but this time around, it wasn't the problem. And Millenium, they're going to keep on pushing through. Bottom inhibitor is exposed. That's going to be the focus.
They have to go and get his... Oh, going on Candy Panda.
Candy Panda caught out there. Defensive ball and quickly pulls him back there. Do manage to keep him alive, but that's going to be an inhibitor going down, no doubt about it.
There's a lot of shields from SK to, you know, stop some of the burst from Kerp, but every time he jumps a target, he doesn't even have to use his ultimate to pretty much instant kill them.
Yeah, just quickly Urchin Strike on towards him, and it does enough. And you saw, well, half the hit points went off Candy Panda with a single Urchin Strike there, and a playful Trickster bouncing on top of him. Freddy going in, trying to keep some baits out there. Shockwave pulls in. Good Shockwave from Jez's, but not enough damage once again to follow it through. Candy Panda launches the rocket, only takes JRE down, but it's a not enough damage. Pop the Talisman, and they run away. They do defend the inhibitor, though.
N-rated should have been ready for this one. Shockwave was there. If he had gotten in, put up his box, he could have CC'd these targets even more, and they could actually follow up with maybe getting a few kills. Good Shockwave, but not enough follow-up.
Well, SK Gaming are trying to force something out of nothing here. It is the Dragon that's saying the Aranea is trying to solo away here and realizes he's got the entire SK Gaming team coming in towards him, and the rest of Millenium are reacting to this. They're going to try and sneak around the side. No, they're pushing straight for the inhib turret.
This was a pretty good one for SK. Getting the Dragon this late in the game gives a lot of gold, and you need it. But they need to deal with Kerp right now.
They need to deal with him. And remember, when they went for that Dragon last time around, they got caught out. They lost 2 inner turrets. This time around, it may be an inhibitor turret. Instead, they're going to chase down Kerp. Dangerous when they don't have vision.
This time, though, Millenium didn't push as 5 or 4 at least. So SK was a bit more safe on picking up the Dragon, and they could come back and defend the turret.
So, back to defensive duties for SK Gaming. Candy Panda working down those super minions in the bottom lane. Meanwhile, Kevin is going to really shove on this top lane. Sunfire Cape doing work. It is a 5,000 gold deficit. Not the end of the world still for SK Gaming here, but Millenium are looking very strong. We're already proved, you know, with a 5-0-3 on Creighton, a 5-0-6 for Kerp. big gold numbers as well. You can see in terms of their counterparts, Giant one, 3,000 gold advantage for Creaton now over Candy Panda. But if they still land them combos, they can try and bait out maybe the Stand United, maybe the Res, which we've already seen from J-Ree. It's a possibility that they could get on them. With Shockwave, it's starting to do damage.
Exactly. I mean, if SK can get the ultimate on one of Millenium's targets and then instantly switch damage to someone else, they can actually kill him rather fast, and he might not even expect it, or Millenium might not expect it. We have seen Millenium in the past. The team fighting is not the best thing for them, so there's still a chance for SK to come back in this game.
Yeah, coordination was called out by Copenhagen Wolves in their victory over them yesterday. Seeming to do a lot better this time around, but really it was all about brute forcing those lanes. SK Gaming will keep them away as that Baron buff, it is almost worn off. They've got around about 30 seconds left on it to try and use it on this tower, and we can see again Kevin continuing to keep pressure on the top lane.
Constantly pushing, constantly doing the right thing. He's just waiting for whenever he's called on, then he will ult instantly down.
There's giant wave along that bottom as well that somebody is going to have to deal with, because there's super minions coming in. They're going to be much stronger going in towards that turret. Candy Panda is in a hole, does not find its target, and instead forces him away from that turret. And again, can they catch anyone out? No. Creaton close though. That attack ball, if it had got just on close range, I think you Jezzy's would have pulled the trigger.
The tower is so low right here though. Millenium can actually dive it and then take the turret on the way and still take the fight.
Not sure what that death sentence was going towards, but it's the bottom, and inhibitor turret is going to get caught on there. Not going to catch him down. Instead, they take two inhibitor turrets. Stand United on Creator. Look at all the shields piling on him. Can they get the kill? No, because there's the res straight away from J-Ree, but damage is done. They do get the kill, and that's going to be another one going down. Freddy getting on towards Aranea. It's 3 for 1 so far. SK Gaming doing work. Millenium Kerp goes down as well. Kevin's the man in the back. He does manage to get on towards Candy Panda. Will it be enough? Super minions shoving on towards the Nexus turrets as well. They're going to chase them down. They've got to deal with the Nexus turrets. Super minions are all over them. Kevin will go down here. Don't think he's going to be able to get away. Shadow Dash will get finally closed out. It is actually N-rated doing defensive duties at the back. They do save themselves, but good God, they are taking their time. The jukes from Kevin
they won't even be able to kill him. There's no mana and
It's just Shadow Dashes away. Wow. Look at the regen coming out as well. Kevin, you made it a great escape.
But this fight, SK Gaming used everything on Creaton. He got the ultimate from J-Ree. He got back up, but as soon as he got back up, instantly killing him. Watch it. Look at this right here. There was not even a shockwave actually for Creaton. Shen ultimate. He has his barrier, and then also the ultimate from J-Ree. They use everything on killing him at this point. And look in the background. Jess is solo, and then Kerp comes in. I think actually Jess kills himself by taking this lantern right here. On the other hand though, Candy Panda is completely untouched in this fight, and he lands the execute ultimate as soon as Creaton respawns and kills him.
Well, Kerp got caught out as well. Who got the closing gold? I believe it was Freddy that managed to pick up. That would be a big bonus, whoever got it. It was N-rated. Big bonus gold for N-rated. Well, supports need gold as well.
N-rated is actually quite tanky at this point. If he goes into the fight, he can take a lot of damage.
So, what do we take from this? It's a 4,000 gold differential between these two. 14-10 now. 10 turrets to 2, but all those inhibitors, they're still up. They're all exposed, though.
What we take from this is simply that if you're playing Fizz and you have the chance between killing the AD carry or the support, you choose the AD carry. This time, he went on N-rated. He didn't even actually manage to kill him. He got Jesse's through the lantern thing, but we need Kerp to go on the right target. He can shut down Candy Panda instantly. Instead, Candy Panda was left up and just did so much damage the entire fight.
Millennium split push seemingly, again, is dividing SK Gaming in great style. Candy Panda's going to come down and make sure it doesn't get shoved in too much as the big Wraith gets taken away there, or the white, whichever you'd like to call it, by Kevin. Top lane, of course, being shoved. Nobody wants to go up against Kerp in that top lane. That's the issue.
And killing Freddy right now, though, if he goes straight into the face of Creaton, he can tank him for a long time. He's so strong, and he also has his phone mail now to do some extra damage.
Well, Kerp is going to try and get in towards that. It's Freddy that has to deal with him. Freddy himself has just shy of 4,000 hit points himself. SK Gaming trying to stick together, but Millennium desperately trying to divide and conquer.
And Jesus has his large rod. once he goes into a death cap, he's going to have a lot of damage.
Oh, they're going to try and get in. It's N-rated. They're focusing on, Piltover Pusmaker. Not going to work out from Creaton, but it does force N-rated away from this one. You talked about how tanky he was. Svenskeren goes in. He's now going to take a lot of damage in the backside. Kerp, he's being dueled by Freddy in the top lane. It's back and forth action. Zap just not quite catching on towards Kerp. And again, SK hang on for dear life, but they may lose the bottom inhibitor if they don't deal with Kevin.
Every single inhib is going down at the same time right now. They're just pressuring all the lanes. Millenium don't really want a teamfight right now. They just want to pressure and pressure and pressure.
And it's going to work out. Kevin's going to be the one that grinds it down, I feel, in this top lane. Every time they walk towards him, he steps away and then just baits them in and goes straight back in for another couple of hits. This time he will back away. All inhibitors will regenerate their health very, very, very slowly.
But Millenium can go for the Baron right here, get it fairly safe. SK is far away from it, and they don't even have any vision on it. So it should be a fairly simple Baron for Millenium, and then can then go push again.
Well, they know it's going to be happening as well. They're all going for it, but they're leaving Kevin alone, and they're going to have to deal with him. They're either going to lose an inhibitor, they're not going to get him in time. You can see Freddy's coming across, but you can see it's already gone down. It's going to be picked up. RNA will take that. Now the inhibitor's going to get worked down. Kevin will pick that up, and well, Millenium do the split push, pincer move, and it all works out in style.
SK Gaming should have stayed in their base, gave the Baron to Millenium, but at least defended his inhib and then tried to do the same. Try to get an engage in the 3v3 or the 4v3 scenario and pick up some kills.
So, with only 2 Nexus turrets standing, exposed inhibitors, and a 7,000 gold deficit, SK Gaming staring defeat in the eyes of Millenium. Could they take a victory with their final game in the LCS before they disappear off on a plane to Brazil? At the moment, it's looking likely.
I mean, again, the whole map is theirs. No turrets left except for the one at the Nexus for SK Gaming. So there's really nothing Millenium has to worry about except for getting engaged on and maybe dying in another teamfight like we saw before. But I'm sure, though, that Kerp will go for the right target.
Not quite a feel confidence in your voice there. There's just a slight hint of sarcasm from the Great Dane so far. We'll see whether it is going to be Kerp going for the right target. Maybe his trackball was just off a little. Maybe he just didn't quite focus. On it. The hook on RNA. Will they focus it? Yes, they will. Good damage. He's going to land on the chompers. Will he catch him in? Yes, he will. Takes him down. Don't forget, this is a Baron up Millenium as well. So if they can get picks like that, it will work wonders. Couldn't quite catch onto Creaton. Wanted to pop that Banshee's Veil.
And this is just what we talked about, catching out someone, immediately killing. Aranea went down instantly.
N-rated with the hooks. Hasn't landed too many of them so far. That was the attack ball taking down Creaton's Banshee's Veil as well. So we'll see whether they try and focus on that one. Kevin being pushed out by Freddy. He's trying to deal with him in the top lane while it's a 4-on-3 in this middle. Super Minions, though, in the bottom lane. Candy Panda has to head off to the side to deal with them. Kerp's going to try and look for something here.
And Jess's death cap is completed. We saw the damage before. He didn't even use the shockwave, and he just took 50% on Aranea with one combo.
So it is Freddy keeping them at bay. They are defending. You know, Aranea getting caught out here has done a very good job of stalling it out, because 2 minutes of that Baron buff already have gone.
And right now, I mean, Millenium can't really do anything. They don't feel like they can teamfight, so they have to do the split pushing. One inhib is gone. It's not really an issue for SK to just clear it every time. So we have this very slow-paced game at the moment, and we're just waiting for one of them to actually take the fight.
Who will take this fight? They have, as you see, Millenium all based and gone back to buy some more items. They are all hitting the level 18 mark, apart from the supports, of course. You can see everybody is starting to stack out. Giant amounts of damage, giant items, and look at Creaton. Sold the boots, gone for the Zephyr.
Full items on him. He even has the Banshee, meaning that Svenskeren can engage on him, which is actually a very smart move.
Of course, Banshee's Veil is being built up heavily by all of SK Gaming. And why is he so? Because they don't want to get popped by Kerp.
Yeah, I mean, they don't want to get killed by Kerp. The only one not having it yet, but building towards it, is right now Candy Panda. He's gotten a lot of farm in the bot lane, though. He should be able to pick it up very soon. Yeah,
good stalling tactics from SK Gaming. It worked for them against the Wolves. Can it work for them against Millenium? I am not so sure on this one this time around. Gold deficit, you can see it yourself. They're starting to hit the 70,000 gold markers, so it is around about 7,000 for Millenium. Baron buff is off in about 15 seconds time. Not too long on that one. So Millenium haven't made a great deal of use of this, despite the fact they did have that great split push. Jez is getting caught out here. Will they focus on it? No. He does manage to get himself back away. Like you said, the shields. This time, Freddy going to be dived upon. They would take that all day long. He's going to go for the shield. He's going to have to defend off the inhibitor turret, though.
I mean, SK can actually try to fight right now, There's no ultimate on Curb. He won't be able to, instantly burst down a target. He was a lot of damage though.
Svenskeren going in too deep. Shield being pulled. Curb takes down the top inhibitor and now comes straight down the bottom lane. He's going to jump on towards him. Shockwave pulls him in, but it's too little, too late, I feel. Candy Panda gets focused on Curb. Has to force the flash away. Zonya's Hourglass being pulled out. Candy Panda does get the kill onto one. Can he get a second? Kevin's going to get focused on. They will try and get on towards him, but he's getting damage on towards Svenskeren. Svenskeren runs for his life. Candy Panda runs for his life. Everybody backing away. Curb managed to playful trickster away from Freddy. SK Gaming hang on again.
Once again, they win the team fight and just keeps extending this game. Curb had no ultimate, so he couldn't go in and instantly burst down Candy Panda. Instead, Creaton actually tried to do it, but died for it.
Candy Panda just about surviving that fight. Curb doing great damage. Zonya's Hourglass is one of them as most annoying things. Jezis did go down. Big death timers now, by the way. And look at SK Gaming. They're trying to force down that mid lane turret.
A very smart thing Candy Panda has been doing for the last 2 team fights is that he saves his ultimate. He waits for Creaton to respawn and then he instantly pops it in the face of him with the execute and takes him down.
Well, we do see that middle turret will finally go down. That's the 3rd one of the game for SK Gaming. Quick hit and run, taking anything they can and keeping that gold deficit within 5,000 gold. Of course, they did lose that top inhibitor and the middle inhibitor during that fight, but the bottom one respawned.
And SK just have to try and fight for this one if Millenium decides to go for it. If Millenium spreads out again, it's going to be pretty much the same, stalling for a few minutes until we see something happening. I would like to see SK Gaming just immediately engage on Millenium. They have been stronger in the fight so far.
They've got to hope that Millenium make a mistake, though. You can see Kevin once again. He is a giant wall. He's got himself that the Thormail as well, which is going to cause problems. Candy Panda almost killed himself on that last time around. Of course, that is the blue buff being picked up by Curb. No blue buff for Jezis. Jezis did go down in that last fight. That Shockwave is going to be so vital in this next team fight.
If he can land it on multiple people like he's done in the last few fights, pretty much the entire backline of Millenium is low and actually have to back out. Jerry can only ulti 1 target, so AoE is perfect.
And of course, that Nexus turret taking a lot of damage from those super minions. Candy Panda doing work here. The Banshee's Veil saving the Cocoon, landing on N-rated. He will clear them off, but there's another wave coming in. So the longer Millenium keep them busy here, that Nexus turret will go down.
It will go down at some point. Oh, N-rated taking a lot of damage right here.
Candy Panda's having to keep on towards it. Will N-rated get focused on? No, he's going to keep them away. Candy Panda has wiped out one wave, but there's another wave coming in. It seems he just can't buy himself enough time to face off against Millenium. They're keeping poking, but while this is all happening, Creaton is not doing any damage to this.
No, Creaton could be a bit more offensive on it. Oh, Shockwave!
Shockwave flash on towards Creaton. They have already used the ultimate though from J-Ree. Is it going to be enough? Candy Panda's getting focused on. He's going to go down. That's a problem. Creaton getting focused. He's going to go down. Both AD carries down for both teams. Jezis is going to have to try and pull anything he can out, but he does go down. Zonya's Hourglass was not enough. Curb's low on the side there. They're going to try and focus on him, forcing the Zonya's Hourglass out. We do see Svenskeren tries to lock on towards him. Curb with that speed boost, but the big tanky front line of SK Gaming is keeping them at bay. Millenium trying to do what they can, but there's not a lot of damage between these big beefcakes trying to poke each other back and forward. Curb buys himself time, gets in on towards Freddy. The rest of them, SK Gaming, desperately keeping in the top turret of our live, but currently the Nexus turrets are getting beaten down. Svenskeren beats them back, everything they can do. Freddy's so low, the Ignite gets him down. This could be Millenium finally closing the game out. 50 minutes into the game, the Nexus turret will fall. Oh, they get Curb down. Can it be enough? Can they keep him away? But the death timers are too long, and the Nexus will finally fall. Millenium have worked so hard for their win this week. They will take it over SK Gaming, but by God, they had to work hard for it.
And this team fight, Curb goes immediately for Candy Panda and he kills him. Candy Panda did no damage to anyone but Curb this fight and lost the 1v1, so Millenium picks up the